Sagittarius, what is going on? Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a fabulous holiday season. I'm Deborah, this is Purusha Intuitive, and we are going to be looking at the energy for January 2024. Yay! New year, good vibes. I hope you're feeling it. You know, I personally get very excited about the new year. I love New Year's Eve. New Year's is such a great time to just, yes, reflect on how far we've come, all of our advancements, our achievements, and then also just get inspired for the new year. What is on the horizon for us? I love to start these readings out with an energy cleanse. Grab a smudge bundle if you want to participate on your end. You can always receive, obviously, the energy that I'm clearing out, or skip ahead. All right. With that said, Sagittarius, I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release all blocks, obstacles to the highest and best messages. Help us to be open to receive, to hear what we need to hear, and let go of what is not meant for us. Amen. All right. Happy day. I'm really excited to be here with you. You can definitely feel the vibe of Sagittarian energy. It's fun. It's expansive. It's all about evolution and growth. One of my favorite placements for sure, because it really does tap into our abundance, right? Starting off this new year, Mercury goes direct January 2nd. Jupiter just went direct end of December, and Uranus is going direct at the end of the month, January 27th. Really nice, because then we're not in any retrograde, any planetary retrogrades for the next couple months. It gives us a little bit more reprieve. What I like astrologically as well is that I lost that train of thought. No, but that Mars is positively aspected for the majority of the month. The first week, not a lot goes on, but like I said, we have more of those positive aspects as we move through the month with that Mars energy, and that's really going to help get the ball moving. Mars is all about, it's the masculine principle, it's active manifestation, it is taking action, making things happen, etc. And so we want to be prepared for that energy, especially as we feel the release of these retrograde planets, right? So retrograde always digs up the past. It forces us to look at and deal with things that we don't really want to, that are a little bit more uncomfortable, that we've been avoiding, and they do have a way of rearing their beautiful heads, right? So Spirit wants you to be a little bit more grounded and methodical as you are moving in the beginning of this next year. Making sure that you're still kind of putting energy and intention to what you are growing and building, but also recognizing that you are still growing and building that thing. So with that being said, let's get into it. I'm going to keep pulling cards. I'm going to do these readings a little bit differently than the daily readings. Okay. So someone else comes into play. This has been popping up for a few of the signs lately. This is that value of third-party situation. And, I get hesitant about saying that because I'm not trying to scare anyone, into assuming that your romantic relationship there's someone else involved. It might be a message for some of you. You're going to know more, you're going to know better is what I'm trying to say, because you're already going to have those hints, those signs, synchronicities, etc. Spirit is going to reveal that to you if this is something that you need to be conscious and aware of, especially if it is like a long-term partnership or marriage or something along those lines. So that's my disclaimer as I relight my sparkler candle. It's probably gonna, well, no, I gotta stop saying that. I'm gonna manifest it, right? Okay, so I'm also hearing for those that it's not about, their love relationship. This is about someone else coming in the middle of you and another person, you and a dynamic. This could be, at work or a friend, community, gossip, etc., someone in your family. So just be really conscious. I feel like you already have your senses about this. Like, this is not anything new for you. I feel like this is also something that you might expect from this person. So like I said, for some of you, I feel like you don't, because I was hearing also, like, for some of you, it's going to come out of the blue. But here's the thing, there's always, whether we acknowledge it or not, there is this deep internal knowing. And I feel like on some level, you have some type of sense about this person already. It could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, someone who is kind of trying to, I'm hearing like talk shit about you. That's what I keep hearing. It's someone who doesn't really know, but is acting like they do know. And they are trying to sabotage something that is working out for you, whether it's a relationship, whether it is business, getting promoted, making more money, watching your business take off, etc. This is a person who doesn't really want that to happen for you. And I feel like the motivation is more about you failing than about them getting, like, they don't care as much about getting what you have, but they want you to fail, if that makes sense. So it's more of this thing against yourself. Or they're against you is what I'm hearing. So taking care of your emotional health and well-being. Health, wellness, it really helps us navigate trickier situations like this. So what I'm hearing for you, Sagittarius, is, I feel like when this all comes to light, it is going to be a little bit heartbreaking. Even if, like I said, you already know or you have your suspicions about this person, don't take it personally. Again, it's not about you, it's about them. But at the same time, it still is going to affect you in some type of way. I feel like for some of you, it's going to bring up some doubts around your self-worth, your value. Maybe you gave your power away to this person. Maybe you put them on a pedestal. You trusted them, etc. But I feel like this has to come out. It has to come out. And it's interesting because I've been seeing this theme in all the zodiac readings where things that didn't come to head, places where people were a little bit more resistant during Mercury retrograde. I get it was the end of the year, the holidays, etc. But people who didn't kind of take initiative that needed to, it's going to come back and bite them in the butt in January. Especially if they tried to get away with lies, deceit, hiding, etc. There's gonna be a light. I was gonna say a megaphone. It could be. But just like that heavy stage light is what I keep seeing shown on them, on what they did, on how they behaved, on how they showed up. And I feel like it's gonna actually, sorry. I feel like it's actually gonna be quite embarrassing for them. I will finish that thought instead of tell you about how I cleaned up my table today and I keep hitting things. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think that these feelings were a little bit like rooted in too good to be true. This is someone who, I don't know, I think that it's someone who likes coming around just for the good stuff, for that exciting new beginning, and then leaves you high and dry. That's how I feel like this person was. And it also feels like someone bought into what they were selling, right? So in that third party dynamic, whoever you were dealing with, they were listening to someone else who kind of made everything. They were a charmer, right? They knew how to use their words. They knew how to kind of manipulate this other person against you. And a lot of that is coming out for you at the beginning of this month, Sagittarius. So my every thought is attracting my vibrational essence. When it comes to our career, our business, we're seeing things in a new perspective. I feel like this is a lot about self-empowerment for you this month. I feel like switching the script. I think that you've been putting too much emphasis on acceptance, validation, affirmation from the outside world. And I think that's changing for you. I feel like this is something you probably acknowledged before the end of last year, maybe during Mercury retrograde, and now you're flipping the script. It's hard when we get rejected or people leave us out or they say that we can't do things, that we're not good enough, we don't have the right qualifications, etc. But this is basically saying that Spirit is offering this new blessing, new beginning. I feel like this comes in more at the end of the month because you have to wrap up this other thing that we were seeing in the overarching energy before this comes in. I do feel like these things are tied. Like I said, whether it is a coworker, gossiping, saying stuff to your boss, to other people, preventing your growth, your advancement, a promotion, etc. You've done a really good job at safeguarding yourself in a way. You know, we can't control what other people think and say about us, who they say that to, etc. But we can control how we show up in situations, the plans that we make. If someone wants to listen to the gossip, wants to listen to the low vibey energy and cut you out as a result, that's on them, not on you. And what this Knight of Swords is showing is that regardless of how things have fared, you're actually making plans of action to move forward. And I feel like those are going to be really honored and blessed for you this month, Sagittarius. Every relationship I establish is eternal. I like this for you because it's the reminder of using the wisdom from the lessons, especially if you are coming from a messier dynamic that's really challenged you in your financial world, the way that you feel about your abundance, about your wealth, about your success, etc. Really tune in this month and see what you're telling yourself. Do you feel worthy? Do you feel good enough? If you don't, why? You know, why aren't you allowed to live a life of support, of happiness, of fulfillment? Money doesn't buy us everything, right? We know that. We know it's more superficial, but it's really nice to have, you know? It makes it way less stressful when bills come up, etc. And so I feel like this is unlearning old patterns, seeing the value, seeing the gifts in those lessons, but then also rewriting your relationship with your financial mentality. Having a little bit more of a less aggressive approach, being diplomatic in your assessment of your financial well-being. You are putting a lot of pressure on yourself to achieve some type of goals that are in the future. You might be buying into the superficiality a little bit this month, rating your worth, your value by how much money you have in your pocket. And remember, it's not about how much money you have, it's about how much money you spend, right? So abundance is, And it's not just financial. We hear that a lot. It can be kind of annoying, but here's the thing. When we let go of the superficial, when we say, you know what, no matter how much I make, I'm happy, I'm content, I have so many blessings, I can live my life, etc. When we come from that perspective, that's when abundance is attracted to us, not when like, I gotta make more money, I gotta hustle, I gotta You can totally feel the change in vibration when you look at it from a different perspective. This is huge for you this month, Sagittarius. I feel like there's a lot coming in for you, and it's coming in based on the work that you're doing. Like, it's like you've learned this. I think you're still overcoming. I think lack mentality is really hard to get out of. It's heavily perpetuated, period, unless you know wealthy, successful people. But for the most part, for like the common person, we're often taught to think we can only achieve so much, we can only have so much. What I love about modern day globalization, technology, it gives us a lot more opportunity for a side business, a hustle, connecting with more clients, more people, more potential. And that's the vibration you have to live in. And what I see is you're doing it, but you're still fighting with yourself a little bit. So really taking some time to not value your worth by what other people said you could and couldn't do. Really just know that the universe will support you, and even more so when you're doing things that like make you feel awesome and make you feel good, and that you're bringing something, that you're on the right path. Life is supposed to be good for me, right? I love that. So this is talking about our family, our home, our community. I feel like it's reassessing some of those relationships and dynamics. With this page of fire, we are being asked to go make some new friends, go find new family members, not to hate. I just laugh at that because, obviously the holidays can bring up more sticky dynamics in our family environments. And, family, yes, we are born in, we do have bloodlines, etc. But then we also create our family as well through the people, the community that we choose. And I feel like this is about putting yourself out there. If you're a mama, maybe joining a mother's group, connecting with like-minded people. If you are not a mama, then this is about investing in something that really nurtures you. The best way to meet people, take a class, do a hobby, join a club, take a course, whatever it may be. And so regardless, masculine, feminine, this is something that makes you feel good. This is, and there might even be some financial potential in this side activity that you like. But it's also going to bring, because there's that 10 of Pentacles. I swear I didn't even see that before I said that. I think that this is just broadening your community, and that's where that 10 of Pentacles energy comes in. When we're feeling good, happy, supported, especially in our relationships that are closest to us, like our family, like our home environment, it really helps us thrive. And again, that also allows that abundance to come in. So community is really important to you. And honestly, I laughed at the beginning. I'm not trying to diminish or demean anybody's challenges with their family. I know those all too well. I've had a very horrid year with my family over the last year and a half, and it's heartbreaking. It really is. And so my heart goes out to you. I'm sending you lots of blessings, just lots of love as you navigate through. What I see for you is Spirit is saying that there is something on the other side. And if anything, this connection that you're looking for is actually going to be found through the friends. It's not as much about your bloodline as it is about the family, the community that you build, Sagittarius. So our source is one of love, not of condemnation. Stop being so hard on yourself. You are a very expansive sign, which is awesome. in my opinion, but I think it can also be to our detriment in the places that we put too many expectations on ourselves, or we want to achieve something in a day. We want to be that overnight success or whatever. Especially when it comes to your health and well-being, try to be a little slower, more methodical. Take some rest. I feel like you've been through a lot, and I feel like you need to settle down a little bit. Let yourself heal. The Nine of Wands in the traditional deck is that value of when we've been through battle. We're kind of bloody, beaten, torn down. We forget about that value to rest, restore, nurture our mind, body, and soul. It can be so easy to get caught into, I got to prove myself, I got to keep pushing forward. We almost bludgeon ourselves to death, right? Where Spirit wants you to be a little bit more natural, more nourishing, more intentional with your approach. Because I feel like when you do, it actually kind of rockets you into the thing that you're going after. That's not what I wanted to say. Yeah, I feel like it's like you see things open up. The energy starts opening up a little bit quicker, more fluidly. So places that you're disappointed or you're heartbroken, try not to lean into those too much. Yes, definitely cultivate time, space for you to grieve and heal for sure. But don't take it for granted. Don't let the defensiveness, kind of become your detriment, your self-sabotage. Most of where you are self-sabotaging right now is on the emotional front. So yeah, getting too stuck in the past, too sucked into energy of people, places, and things that didn't deliver, that maybe talked a good game, said the right things, etc., and then there just wasn't any follow through. Those relationships suck. It's like I said, it can be super heartbreaking, but then at the same time, it's also an opportunity for us to take back our power, to rise above and continue to move forward. Unfortunately, in life, or not, we can't dictate how and what people do, right? Like everyone has control of themselves, and that's basically it. So with that in mind, if someone is making a choice, allow them to make that choice. It causes more grief, heartache, and pain when we resist that choice, right? Instead of just allowing things to be what they may be. Causing pain for others would attract pain to me. Such a beautiful message, following our health and well-being. So the harder we are on ourselves, the more that's going to manifest in our relationships, the harder people are going to be on us, especially as it relates to love. 2233 is on the clock. So the way we show up in our partnerships and how well we're able to work together. This again is overcoming that. This is rooted in some money, financial problems and issues. So you might have, here's the thing. I feel like if this is about you and your love relationship, this is about outside factors affecting, whether it's people chiming in, whether it's a lack of money, finances, etc. There's something about this that has thrown you off, thrown your relationship off. And I don't know, I feel like there's been a lot of hurt and pain, but it's not like the issues have specifically been addressed. So Spirit's saying, like, if you're trying to hurt the other person because they're hurting you, it's only going to attract more of that. Try to approach things with a heart of compassion and understanding, giving people the grace and the benefit. Then you can better set your boundaries and know how you want to work or move with that person moving forward. Okay, so we got Lovers and Two of Cups. This is heavily talking about love, relationship, partnerships. It can be someone else, it can be a friend or someone we're really close to, a family member, etc. But basically the idea is when we're dealing with other people, we need to try to be a little bit more diplomatic, Queen of Swords energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, trying not to get too emotionally invested or I don't want to say that. It's taking things too personally. The language that was coming through was quite vulgar. But it's like we got to really assess like how we're showing up in our partnerships, right? Like, it's not an eye for an eye as much as maybe that will feel satisfying on the ego level. At the same time, it's long term, it actually makes us hurt even more. So just like you want that person, that situation to acknowledge your feelings and validate you, I feel like also use that as the way you approach them and the situation. Relationships I don't want, clarify those that I do want. And this is a really nice closing message because basically what it's talking about is we have to set boundaries with what we don't want. We can't sit there and say, I don't want this person to treat me this way. If they're treating you this way, well, that's how they're showing up. You can have a conversation, you can address the issue, and if they don't change, that's your indicator right there. And it's not about forcing someone or something to be what you want. It doesn't work that way. Instead, it's taking the knowledge of I don't want this. And if it's a deal breaker, I have to acknowledge that and let go and move on. To me, Five of Swords, it's all about your boundaries. It's your boundaries. It's how much you let people come into your life, into your environment. You have a lot going on, so perhaps you rely on people that you normally wouldn't if you didn't have to, is what I'm hearing. But I think that what I'm hearing is you need to set boundaries with the people, even if it's not your vibe, it's not what you want. Be a little bit more clear and decisive about those people, those relationships in your life, because then it's going to open up the door for something new. And here's the thing, you might have a little extra on your plate for a period of time, but remember, even that will change as well. Ace of Fire is bringing in new potential towards the end of the month. New relationship, new love relationship. This is creativity, community. I love this. I think actually Scorpio got this as well as their last card, which is dope because it has some really heart honoring qualities about it. It's like, again, this value, not to overly emphasize, but we have to cut out the things that we don't want in order to be open, prepared, and ready for the things that we do want. And sometimes we have to do that with our blinders on, right? Like sometimes we just have to hope for the best when we make decisions that are honoring ourselves. And sometimes it's really hard to be confident and steadfast in those things, especially when they are relationships that are very important to us. But if there's other people involved, if the person you're dealing with is buying into lies, deceit about you, if they're spreading those things, is it really worth it? And I feel like Spirit is, especially this month, I'm seeing this a lot. It's like wrapping up what was in 2023 so we can open the door and allow the flow and the movement to happen in a really beautiful and heart-honoring way. So Sagittarius, thank you so much for your time, your energy always. I really appreciate all the support to the channel. I hope you received messages here. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear how it resonates in your own life. Know that I am sending you all the love, all the blessings, good vibes as we move into this new year. All right, have a fabulous month and I will talk to you soon.